Okay.
Okay.
So just a background question to start off with. Could you explain a bit about what the legal status of Western Sahara is?
Western Sahara is the last colony in Africa. It's located in northwest Africa, bordered by the north by Morocco, on the south by Mauritania, on the east by Algeria, and not on the west by Algeria, and on the east by Atlantic Ocean. Western Sahara, it was occupied by Morocco in 1975. Till now, nobody in the world recognizes the sovereignty of Morocco over Western Sahara. It's one of the countries which is non-government, and it's in the list, to be, it's entitled to self-determination. And it was war there between the Moroccans and the Polisario Front, the liberation movement for the Sahrawis, since the 17th till 1991. 1991 it was a ceasefire under the UN, and both sides agreed about a referendum, the Moroccans and the Sahrawis, and since that time there is a lot of obstacles, we believe, from the Moroccan side, because they find out maybe the referendum is not in their favor, and since then we are waiting for peaceful solution, and I believe Moroccans, they are taking advantage of that as well, because that's why I believe personally not many people knows about the issue. It is a peaceful nation waiting for peaceful solution, trying, there is no self-government there is no war, and we're just waiting for the peaceful solution.
So why do you say that Western Sahara has a right to independence?
I said we have a right to self-determination.
Self-determination, yeah.
Self-determination, which is, what does that mean? Which is got three options: either independence, integrity, or autonomy. And I think that's something, that's our right, and everybody, supporting that, but we need them to support it, more. And the Moroccans at the moment trying, the only option they are willing to discuss is autonomy, which is for us is one of the three options we go within self-determination. And all what we need, or we want as a Sahrawi, we need our voice to be heard. We want to decide over our land and our resources, and we're just saying, let it, done. Either if all the people in Western Sahara say we want the integrity within Morocco, we will welcome that. If it's autonomy, we welcome that. But also if it's independence, we want that. And I think this is a basic right for the Sahrawis.
Can you tell me a bit more about the resources of Western Sahara?
The main resources in Western Sahara is fish and phosphate. And unfortunately, Moroccans, they are having these millions and millions of euros every year from the European Parliament regarding fish. We have many companies over the border as well importing our phosphate. And I just want to mention Australia, one of the countries. You got here three companies import phosphate. I was talking about that in newspaper, in the radio here, since I came to Melbourne. And I think it's just illegal and unfair for these companies to import our phosphate. It's against our willing. It's not according to our wishes. We are not benefiting from it at all, either the money or the resources itself, or jobs. And that's just encourage Moroccans and strengthen them to stay, and motivate them to make more human rights abuses in Western Sahara.
And what in particular are the main human rights abuses occurring in Western Sahara?
I mean, in Western Sahara, the people of Western Sahara, they are facing human rights abuses since 1975. Moroccans, the first time invaded Western Sahara, they are dealing with the Moroccans, as I told you, as second citizen. arresting them, going to prison, killing them. And that's why we have half of the population fled to the refugee camps in south of Algeria. Human rights abuses, it's something we, live with on a daily basis in the occupied Western Sahara. You are not allowed to say you are a Sahrawi. You are not allowed to hold or raise a Sahrawi flag. You are not allowed to talk about the issue at all. And that's just ridiculous.
So just a couple more things I want to ask you about the Gdeim Izik. Would you be able to just talk a bit directly about what happened there?
Yes, the camp was last set up by the Sahrawis, I told you, for this bad situation. It remained for 4 weeks, about 4.5 weeks. And the Moroccan in the beginning trying to have dialogue with the people, but they was really shocked. I mean, the Moroccans, they were shocked because these protests just rapidly increased in few weeks, from hundreds to several thousands, from few people to it was, according to the Secretary General report, it was around maybe between 16 and 22,000 people in the camp. And in the end, people as well, they are not asking for the social and the economic improvement. Even regarding they start talking about the self-determination, which is, I think, that's our rights. And the Moroccans, in the end, they just decided to dismantle this camp in a very violent way, in a very bad way. And a lot of human rights abuses committed after the event. We have still now a lot of people in prison. We have people who kidnapped. We have some hundreds in the prison, and 20 of them, most of them well-known human rights activists, they are facing military court again in Saleh.
Some people have said that what happened there with the protest was one of the things that kind of inspired protesters elsewhere in the Middle East. Do you think that's the case?
We believe the beginning was in Gdeim Izik, and we are really proud of that. But unfortunately, and it's very, very sad, Gdeim Izik as an event doesn't have that, the value and the attention it should. And when we look at, Tunisia or Egypt, and when we think about Gdeim Izik as a Sahrawis, me personally, I just feel really sad about it. Because what's happening in Gdeim Izik, that's what happened in Tunisia after that, what's happened in Egypt. And we just wish other nations the best as well and success in their revolutions. Because as you say, now people, there is a revolution and demonstration against their own governments on their independent land, and there is a human rights abuse in these countries, between the people themselves on independent countries. And then what about when you talk about colonization, occupation? What do you expect?
Do you believe that that has any that any of the protesters in Morocco are supporters of self-determination for Western Sahara? Does the movement have any support amongst Moroccans?
Till now, no. That's what they call it, 20 February revolution. And the Moroccans themselves, they are demonstrating for their rights, for their democracy. We know Morocco is not one of the best, democratic places in the world, and the Moroccans, in my point of view, themselves, they suffer. There is human rights abuse in Morocco, there is disappearance in Morocco, there is people who suffer in Morocco, and always what my message to the Moroccans is we have to support each other, we have to work together as a Sahrawi for our freedom and our independence, and for the Moroccan for their democracy and for their rights as well. And that's the way it should be. In the end, we are neighbors, nothing to do with the Moroccan population. It's all about the regime. And there is victims in Morocco, and there is people who have to have their rights as well and to have democracy in Morocco.
Last question: are you hopeful that Western Sahara will actually ever get its right to self-determination?
Always there is hope. Always there is hope. We learn from other countries, from East Timor, from other places in the world, and we know, and we believe, and you know, it doesn't matter how long it will take, one day it will happen. And that's what we believe in, and that's what will happen. It might take long, we might sacrifice. We got people since 1975 in prison, dying, but that's the way it should be. And it will happen, hopefully, inshallah.
Great.
Okay?
All right, thanks very
Thank you.
much. That was great.